As we know, Kobe Bryant passed away. Many of us are still shocked by his passing. To say the least, I'm still very shocked. I remember when SW1 sent this to me on WhatsApp, I thought also that it was a fake story. Like many of you also thought this was bogus, but we found out Kobe Bryant indeed passed. And to reflect on his life, there was a memorial service a few days ago at the Staples Center. And I've been listening to many different podcasters and people from various networks, from ESPN to Fox Sports News, and the outpouring of love that Kobe Bryant had from the city of Los Angeles and the Los Angeles Lakers, probably the greatest NBA franchise in the history of the league. It was amazing. And the speeches that were given by some of the greats, Michael Jordan even cried. Shaquille O'Neal gave a great speech. So many performances, Christina Aguilera, Beyonce. But then there was the heartfelt speech that many of us felt given by his wife. I believe that how could you not feel something by what she had to say? I was moved. I was very moved. I was touched by her speech. But what was noticeable was that the parents did not speak, nor were they seated by the children of Kobe Bryant or his wife. And this has led to much speculation about his wife keeping his parents away from this ceremony. Now, we do not know why they didn't speak. And I wanted to give a shout out to brother Phil. We had talked about it a little bit offline. I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning it, because he said, some things we just don't know. We don't know if he didn't want to speak. We didn't know if they spoke at the funeral. We don't know many of these things. They probably didn't want to talk. And LAR Movement made the case that this is a celebrity event, and celebrities are going to want to talk to Kobe Bryant because this is more about his professional life, right? And he was an entertaining superstar, so this is an event for the public, not for his parents speaking, although that they were in the attendance. But then I kind of felt, when I was reading articles on the internet, one of the things was for certain, and this whole idea that if you marry a non-black woman, she is going to, provided that you die first and you have money, she is going to keep you away, or keep your family away from her, the money, and the grandkids. And Black America likes to use teachable moments. See, if you end up with a non-black woman like Kobe Bryant, then what will happen is your non-black wife is going to ostracize your family and take the money and then divorce herself from them and the grandchildren. I'm mixed in my thoughts about this, but I would want to come out and say, I believe there is at least some truth to it. Maybe not a whole lot of truth to it, but we just got to look at it from a racial perspective. Kobe Bryant is an African-American, or was an African-American. His wife is Latino. In an interracial relationship, if I marry a woman that's not black or in the same culture, me and her become a family. It's true enough. But me and her family are going to have differences, whether it's cultural, it's going to be harder to relate to them, and they might not be so excited about her and me creating black and Mexican kids, black and white kids, or whatever. So obviously, it's going to be much easier if I were to pass and give her all the money. It's going to be easier for her to divorce herself from my family, just because we're different cultures. Could be that my family will just stand her because I'm there, and her family will just stand me because I'm there, but they don't like each other. With an African-American family, obviously we're the same people. We're the most unique group of people on planet Earth, African Americans. We all came over here on the slave trade, our ancestors. We all pretty much have the same cultures. No matter where we are, we're all pretty much the same. We have certain characteristics that make us very unique. So it's easy for us to relate to each other, even if we don't know each other. But when we marry each other, it's more like family. That's why African Americans always call each other brother and sister. We are really a 40 million member family. We are a unique group of people. We are more unique in our story than anybody else. However, I want to shout out a brother, the Great Grown Man Business YouTube channel. I will leave his link in the description. He mentioned about Steve McNair. Everybody knows about Steve McNair. He was Air McNair, went to Alcorn State. He then had a very illustrious career with the Houston Oilers, which became the Titans, and then ended with the Baltimore Ravens. His wife was a nurse, and we know that Steve McNair was killed by his girlfriend, and she committed suicide. So we do know about that. But then what really happened, though, is that Steve McNair bought a house for his mother. Once Steve McNair died, the wife put his mama out of the house that Steve McNair paid for while he was living. We've seen situations like this happen before, where two black people are married, one leaves the money to the wife, and then the wife does things that the husband would not do if he was living. But I want to say this. I want to attack those who have the biggest arguments, and I think those are going to be women, and maybe some of those women who are feminists. And I want to use LAR's talking points here. A lot of women who have a problem with Kobe Bryant leaving this money to a non-black wife, I think that many of you have the position that you don't need a man. Okay? That you don't need a man for anything. You don't need a man for money. You are educated. You have opportunities. You are doing better than black men. And obviously, that's what I always hear. Sisters are coming up. I was on a panel with Dinah Demir, and she was asking me, why did I have so many problems with black men when they're doing so much better than black women? I wanted to say something smart to her, but I didn't. Because, I didn't think she knew what she was talking about at that point. But anyways, this is the mindset of most women, be it regular society, Pan-African. Many of them, I believe, think that they are doing better than black men. Why is it, though, that many women, I believe, who have the same class of women who are saying you don't need a man, many of you are in the same boat that are criticizing Kobe Bryant. Now that he's left this money to a woman that's not black, now you're upset about it. But I thought that you didn't need a man. See, what we have are a group of women, and that's in all races about this Kobe Bryant thing, who say they don't need a man's money but want it for free. You don't want Kobe Bryant's money, but you don't want him to marry a woman who wants to get married early. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm leading that to another video. A lot of races of women, and black women in particular, who I hear these arguments from, I think that black women want to get married. I really do. I think when they want to get married, though, it's quite late. You want to be a wife after you have achieved college success, which I don't disagree with. After you've achieved financial success, you saw the world. Now you're 34, you would like to get married. Kobe Bryant's wife was like 18 or 19 or 17. I'm not sure. All I know was she was young. See, the culture that she came from wants to get married early. Now, how many of you are willing to get married to the right man early? And I'll give you minimum of 23, because that at least makes you a bachelor's degree holder. Many of you don't want to do that. Many of you want to get married when you're set in your ways, when you're over 34, 33, possibly with somebody's kid. After you realize, like, whoa, I kind of do want a man around. I kind of do need a man. It is better. And then at that age, you want to criticize some woman who made a decision that, wow, I have Kobe Bryant in my midst. Let me marry him now, and then stick with him through bad times. A lot of black women are not going to do that. A lot of black women don't want to get married early. You want to wait till you get married because you've been taught that. And it just goes on and on, okay? So I just want to say that. And let me kind of go back to this, guys. In my honest opinion, I think it's neck and neck. I think that if you marry a non-black woman, she could pull the same thing that a woman that is not black can pull. But I will give more of the slight advantage that you're probably going to have a little bit more understanding of a black woman. I think if you have a black family, a black daughter is going to want, a black daughter-in-law is going to be more willing to push for the family to speak, despite problems that they may have had at the memorial service. That is just me. But guys, what do you think? Like, subscribe, hit the bell. This is your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. All my information is pinned to the first comment to the top. Grown Men Businesses YouTube channel should also be up there. Go subscribe to hit the bell. Don't forget to buy your Black Men Are Perfect t-shirts also. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.